Hello everybody. I don't know whether you watched my last video, but if you did, you would have seen while bringing the boat down from round the top of Wells down to North Devon, my camera lost its soundtrack. So this video is the trip, my maiden flight on my Dockrell 22-foot yacht that I bought this time last year, and I spent all winter doing up. And I'm chuffed to hell because I got her like new. But here I am on the maiden voyage. We're leaving Crossing Banks and we're making our way down through the shallows. I've never gone down through it before, so I'm a bit worried about hitting the sandbars, but not a problem. I got out okay. I was amazed how easy we got out. I got down into the estuary and straight away I put the sails up and we made our way out over the bar. Now, I can't remember what bit of video I'm filming as I'm filming here, so I'm just going to talk and tell the events of what happened. Anyway, we made our way down and out round past the lighthouse and up over the bar on the motor most of the way, but once we got down the bottom we actually cut the motor and the sail was pushing us and we done quite good. We got out past the bar, took nearly 3 hours to get out to the outside marker because we were only sailing slowly. With that we had a tailwind, so in a minute you'll see I had I said a tailwind. When we first got out there, because I was getting used to the boat, we went off track and we started going up towards Salton. The boat was barely under control. I had a hell of a job controlling her, but in the end I hove to, as I said, and we just sat there for a while and got our act together as we drifted off at the Salton. But in the end I turned round and I got the wind behind me with the sails goosenecked, or both sails open, and the boat pushed us out and we got 2/3 of the way to Lundy in about 2.5 hours, which is bloody fantastic. But we was doing anything up to 7 knots, and as soon as we got out there, bang, the wind dropped dead. So I hove to again, and with that the current was taking us up the wind, and with a little bit of breeze it was, and the current was taking us up towards Ilfracombe. So we sat there all afternoon doing that, right through to the night. On the night time we went to sleep. In a minute you'll see us. And me and Lyra, we didn't sleep. Lyra sort of didn't sleep. Every time I get up to come out and look out to make it safe, Lyra gets up and wakes up as well, so neither of us had any sleep. But anyway, we hove to and we drifted right the way up to Baggy Point and a little bit past it. And then the next morning the wind picked up, so we, well, not the wind, sorry, the tide changed, and what we done, we hove to and come back the other way down towards our bar, and we ended up off of Hartland Point. So then, working out the time to get in, I decided I wanted to come in. Everybody was telling me how bad the thunderstorms was going to be. So anyway, we started the motor and we started coming in, and surprise, surprise, I was getting hardly any speed out of the boat. It wasn't till I put the engine on full throttle that I realised what was going on. When I remounted the engine in the well that the engine goes in, I kept the upright angle the same as the previous owner had, and the water was being pushed out the back of the boat and up out of the water. So I must be losing 2/3 of my power. Anyway, that was just one of the problems I found. And one of the other problems was the tiller arm, which holds the automatic pilot pin, was dropping down too low, and the automatic pilot wasn't working very good because it really likes to be horizontal to work properly. So that was the second bad problem I had. And then the biggest bug of all was the instrument panel, which I put further back inside the door, as you can see there. I don't know if you see it, you'll see the instrument panels right back inside the door. Well, from the tiller, I couldn't reach them, couldn't touch them. So that was the other thing that was wrong. The third thing, the major thing that was wrong was the rudder. Lift it up and come off. The rudder had no pins in it, and when the autopilot was on it, jerking it backwards and forwards, and with the pressure upwards, because it is wood, it wants to float off. It floated up and off the back of the boat. Thank God I had a string retaining it. So we never lost it. We actually put that string down, tied it round, and stopped it coming off again. The boom. When I went to hove to, with the sheets for the mainsail where they are, it's very hard to get the mainsail to stay in the centre. So really I needed a cleat, a pin, to go on the end of the boom to clip onto the wires to hold it dead centre. But she was hoving to okay anyway, so not a problem. But I've done that now, it's done. And then the tablet, I've got a big tablet. The GPS in it was so slow I had to resort to my phone, as you can see there. So I've actually now got the GPS working on the tablet. But it was a great trip. We had a nice night. On the night time the sun went down, so we watched the sun go down on the one night. I don't know whether this is coming up or going down. And it was a lovely sky, as you can see. And the next morning it come up and it was bright orange sky, which is red sky at night, shepherd's delight, red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning. So we decided we was coming in out of it, but we never had the thunder and lightning they was predicting in the end. So I might just well have stayed out there. Anyway, we got in. It was the boat's fantastic. One of the problems I had with the boat is the dagger board. It's a tri-kill, but it's not a kill. The actual kill that keeps the boat upright is a massive, great big weight, and that's near there. But the arm that goes down, the dagger board, is for when you're going directly into wind. Well, we discovered that this little baby, going into wind, the wind can be coming straight out the boat from the front. The boat wants to go slightly 10 degrees off, and then that's our heading, and our actual track is about another 9-10 degrees off of that. So I can go 20 degrees into wind without the dagger board, and I mean not just slow either. In about a 4 mile an hour breeze we was getting 2 knots. So yeah, we was well happy with that. So there she is. Anyway, we had a great trip. This was the night time now. As it went down, it got darker and darker and darker. Oh, another problem. I haven't got any lights built into the boat because you don't need them by law. But I've got a set of lights that I made, port and starboard, and a running light, and anchoring lights. And they all work off of AA batteries. I forgot to put the AA batteries in the boat. They were all here in the houseboat. So we had no lights most of the night. I had to make do with the one running light that we did have, a big white light on top, which was enough. And plus I was awake most of the night. There's the moon up there in the distance, you see. I think now this is the sun's starting to come up the next morning now. So yeah, it was great. It was a really nice night. It didn't go cold, and as you probably know, when you hove to, the boat sits with her nose pointing into wind and going forward, which is amazing. So the wind doesn't come in the cabin door, so me and Lyra just laid there asleep, listening to the radio, and no wind coming in. Well, not that there was a lot of wind, but the slightest breeze at night can piss you off. Anyway, here we are. I think now this is the next day. Got a bit of wind and we started popping on, but all it was doing was bringing us down from off Baggy Point way, up round the back of Ilfracombe there, or that way, and bring us back down towards here. But it didn't bring us quite into the bay. It took us down to bloody Hartland Point, or just off Hartland Point. So we just sat there until I timed it right. I worked out the mathematics, how long it'd take to get back, estimating the speed. When I actually started to come back in, I realised what was happening with the motor. We couldn't make good time, so I revved the motor right up, and we got in 20 minutes earlier than I needed to. But I was planning to be on the bar at 20 past 12, and I actually got to the outer marker at 20 past 12. So next time we'll get the timing a bit better. But anyway, we got in, we sailed all the way in up to our point where we anchor. And when I got there, it was only a 7-4 tide. There was hardly any water. I picked up the mooring. I've only got a single float mooring. All the ground tackle, all the tackle from the moorings on the ground. But I grabbed the float, picked up the front mooring, and then the boat started drifting, pulled all the tackle underneath the boat. So I had to drop a line over the side, allow everything to sink and allow the boat to float over and then pull it back up on the other side. Worked out great really, but I did ground her, but not a problem. It is a bilge keel, that's what they're for. So anyway, I had no trouble getting on me mooring. Here we are now. I think this might be one of the little periods of a bit of wind we had, or am I already legging it home? But as I tell you, it took just under 5 hours on the motor, making up the time to get in. The weather was nice, but not, like, when I say nice, I mean nice for nice, but not nice for sailing. The sea was choppy. The sea is that little waves like that, little 2 foot, and they're chop, 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 and they chuck you about. And the only drawback with this boat, when it ain't going forward, it does rock from side to side rather fast. So the other problem I got is when I'm going along, I can't have Lyra up on deck because she can't jump back in on her own. So if she's up on deck and the shit hits the fan, I can't really let go to tiller to go putting her in the cabin. So until I've made some form for her to get in and out on her own, she's got to stay in the cabin. She don't mind, she sits in there, she's happy as a lark. It's bloody massive after our last boat. I'll probably see her in a minute, a little bit of film of her. But the ropes worked out right. Yeah, sorry for yawning guys, it's late at night. But as I say, the ropes worked out right. Sometimes, as you see now, I put the camera down and I forget to bloody turn the thing off. I'll leave the soundtrack from the actual video on, because if you listen carefully, you can hear the outboard in the background. Now the camera hasn't got the shield off the back, so it muffles the sound anyway, but I'm wondering if the camera hasn't started trying to work. You can hear the engine coming and going as it comes out of the water. I'm going to have to check the camera out, just in case it is running okay. Thank God at last I picked the camera up. Can you hear the engine in the background? Whoa, whoa. Every time it comes out of the water, because these little waves are rough as old boots. You don't believe how much we was getting banged about. Anyway, we got in quite safe and happy, but I wouldn't say we're glad to be in, but with all the problems we had, I couldn't wait to get and start working on them and get all the teething problems done. So she is done, and now I'm getting ready. Hopefully we're back out Saturday coming, about 3 days time, and everything is up together. The instrument panel is not so far back in the doorway. The tiller sorted, everything's sorted, all the teething problems. Anyway, there you go. You hear that engine in the background? I must check the camera out. Perhaps the sound's come back. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Keep your eyes on it, and we'll be going out to do another voyage when everything's sound as a pound.